Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, two more people went overboard, but this time it's not for the reasons you might think. So earlier this week, not just one, but two crew members jumped overboard on the Celebrity Summit. Now the cruise was on its Canadian tour up in Canada with the folks where I live. And they were in Quebec City, and they were docked in Quebec City, and the two gentlemen jumped into the St Lawrence River around 5 something in the morning. One gentleman was spotted by a dock worker, enforcement officer who saw them climb down a ladder and helped the gentleman to the shore. He was suffering from hypothermia. The other gentleman wasn't quite so lucky and got much farther away. He ended up floating about 5 kilometers, that's about 3.5 miles, downriver in the freezing St. Lawrence River in October and was found by fire and rescue, and the Coast Guard did finally manage to rescue him and bring him on, and he was suffering from severe hypothermia when they finally got him to shore. One gentleman is from the United Emirates, and the other gentleman, I believe, is from Zimbabwe. They were both taken to hospital for observation and to assess their hypothermia and their medical condition. Apparently, both are doing fine. The next question comes into effect is why did they? Yes, we hear about people jumping overboard all the time, but you never hear of two people jumping overboard from the same ship at the same time. Apparently, this had nothing to do with, falling overboard or trying to jump overboard on purpose to cause self-harm. This was, it believes, is to be able to try and immigrate into Canada and seek asylum illegally. That was their attempt. They weren't going for asylum. They were going to try and sneak in illegally, and it's suspected that they had people that they were going to meet along the shore. Apparently, the crew members were not scheduled to be able to disembark. Not all crew members can leave the ship every time they go to a port. Otherwise, the ship would be empty. No one would serve the customers. And they were scheduled to work and weren't able to be relieved to go to shore. And so they decided to take matters into their own hands and they jumped overboard. And it is believed that they were looking for asylum. But right now, that's where that story kind of ends, and because all communications as far as anything since then has dropped off. We don't know if the gentlemen were put back on the ship. I would kind of doubt that the ship would want those crew members back who would purposely jump overboard, even if they thought they were close to shore. Jumping into a freezing St. Lawrence River, and you look at one guy, he ended up floating 5 miles, 5 kilometers downstream. So I'm pretty sure that the cruise line Celebrity wouldn't want them back. And as far as what happens to the gentleman now, we don't know if they're going to go through the refugee status or seeking asylum, or if they were put on a plane and flown back to their respective countries. It's all gone dark. I've tried to find news articles on it. I've tried to contact people about it, and I've gotten no response. Right now, it's kind of like blank. I will update you if I find out what has actually happened to these gentlemen, but whether they're sent home or whether they're still in Canada, we don't know because no one's talking about it. No one is saying a word. Funny how that kind of thing happens all of a sudden. Well, there you go. That's a new one for me in recent years. I've heard of people jumping overboard for numerous reasons. Never to sneak into a country. You don't hear people jumping from cruise ships too often. Well, I hope you liked this update. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Till next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.